nation, one heart, one soul.
Hi, my name is Pete Smith with ThinkEntrepreneurship.com. Today I'm here with Greg Gianforte of RightNow Technologies, and we're here to learn a little bit about his business and as well as a little bit about his book that he wrote called Bootstrapping Your Business. Greg is the CEO of RightNow Technologies. They're based in Bozeman, Montana. They have over 1,900 clients worldwide and over 700 employees. So thank you for tuning in to ThinkEntrepreneurship.com, and we are ready to start our third video cast with Greg Gianforte.
Hi, thanks for having me today.
Thanks for volunteering to be on our show, Greg.
Certainly.
So right now I just want to learn a little bit about your business and find out how everything got started. Did you start in a garage? Did you start in a dorm room? What's the story?
So the business I started in an extra bedroom of my house. Now I had some practice. This is my fifth startup I've done in my career. But the original idea was really around the disruption that the internet's causing for businesses and how they support their customers. So our business plan originally was really internet software for customer service, and that's what we did.
Mm-hmm. And how long did it take to get things rolling?
Well, I started in 1997, and the first month, what I did was I made a whole bunch of phone calls. I called 400 people who I had this suspicion that the internet was changing the way companies interacted with clients. So I called up customer service managers and said, how is the internet affecting your job? And they all said the same thing. They said, it's all these emails. We never got emails before. And I asked them what problems that caused, and they said, well, we just don't have enough staff. We can't answer them all. And I looked at the market, and everybody else in the marketplace was building software to help these call centers make their agents more efficient in answering the emails. But what I thought about, the reality was, nobody ever goes to a website hoping to send an email to a company, right? That's just not what we do. Mm-hmm. So we built software, or I built software originally, that was essentially a help button that went on the web page so that people could go there and get an answer to their question without having to send an email. So I did those 400 phone calls, got a pretty good idea of what people wanted. In fact, by the end of those 400 calls, I had a web page that described the product, even though I hadn't written anything yet. And by the end of the 400 calls over that month period, I was asking people, if I had this, would you buy it? And enough people started saying yes that I thought it might be worth actually writing the software. Mm-hmm. So I locked myself in a closet for 60 days and built the first product. And by June, I had customers up and live of that same year, 97. The remainder of that year, I kind of did it part-time. I had some other things I was working on. By March of 1998, I had 40 paying customers, and it was still just me working out of a bedroom. And then I figured, well, I've proven this enough, maybe I should actually start hiring people. And as I said, today we're 700 people around the world. And to give you a perspective, last year we handled 2.1 billion customer inquiries. So that's like everybody in North America 7 times.
Now, Greg wrote a book called Bootstrapping Your Business, and I've read it, and it's a very good book that I recommend for any entrepreneur. And I have a hint that bootstrapping is how you started your own business.
That's right. Bootstrapping is really about using customers' money to start a business rather than venture capital money or debt financing or credit cards. And all 5 of my businesses I've started with this bootstrapping technique. And the interesting thing is I've now had a chance to lecture at Harvard and Berkeley and Stanford and Cornell's MBA program, the London School of Business, and the same thing happens every time. I go in and I talk about bootstrapping with their MBA students, and they love it, but the professors never invite me back because this is so contrary to what's taught in business schools today. If you get 100 MBAs together and ask them, how do you start a business? 100 of them will tell you, well, you need to write a business plan and go raise money. And honestly, it's less than 1% of the business starts in this country in a given year, and there's hundreds of thousands of them. Less than 1% raise professional money. So it kind of begs the question, what did the other 99% do? Well, they all bootstrap, and that's not It's not an original concept. This has been going on for a long time. Microsoft was bootstrapped. Dell was bootstrapped. Hewlett-Packard was bootstrapped. I've just given it a label and kind of codified the practice so that there's a cookbook that people can follow to do it for themselves.
Another important thing about being an entrepreneur is networking and giving back to your community. What sort of events or organizations do you help out?
On the entrepreneurial side, I started a bootstrap loan fund about 2 years ago in Montana that's modeled after the microloan programs in India. And the idea here is to provide seed funding to early stage entrepreneurs to help them grow businesses in the state of Montana.
Okay.
The website is bootstrapmontana.org, and we initially funded it with a little over $100,000 in working capital, and we do loans in the $2,000 to $20,000 range. These are zero interest loans. There's no collateral, and people use these loans to kind of get to the next level. It's a typical scenario, and we use the bootstrapping principles. So we won't fund operating capital, we won't fund capital equipment, we will fund sales and marketing expenses where there is an existing product. So a lot of the ways Montana entrepreneurs use these loan funds is maybe they've been selling on a local basis, haven't had any national exposure. We might give them $3,000 or $5,000 so they can go to a national trade show and promote their wares and build distribution outside the state of Montana. So we've had some great successes with it.
And Greg, what would you say to recent college graduates and people just starting businesses would help them out the most?
Well, I think it's really important when you're right out of school to get some experience. I went to work out of school for Bell Laboratories, which was a very prestigious research organization, part of AT&T. Spent 3 years there, kind of, even though I had started businesses previously, being in a corporate environment for a while really helped me understand the psychology and the politics and the landmines and the ditches and things I was going to have to overcome if I ever want to sell to organizations like that. So getting some domain expertise, I think, is really important. And then once that's done, you know, if you think you have it, and being an entrepreneur isn't right for everybody, but if you're not scared of heights, and you don't mind being like petrified at times, then maybe entrepreneurship is for you. You know, so I would just say jump in with both feet. I think a lot of people dream about starting a business, and in a very real sense, starting and running a business is the new American dream. You know, it used to be that home ownership and a car was the American dream. Well, maybe less and less, but it's gotten to the point where a lot of people have checked that box. I think the new dream, given the lack of continuity with careers in large corporations and things, a new American dream has arisen, which is really about entrepreneurship. And you can do it, but as you start to put your roots down and married and family and paying for college, it gets harder and harder as your obligations get larger and larger. So earlier is better than later. And plus, the benefit of doing it earlier and actually starting a business is you don't know it's impossible yet, which is a huge advantage if you don't know something's impossible.
And if you could characterize your entrepreneurship life in one word, what would it be? Exciting. You only gave me one word. Well, thank you so much, Greg, for taking your time to interview with us.
I'm very happy. Thank you.
Thank you. And we are at RightNow Technologies, as I said, based in Bozeman, Montana. Thank you so much for checking our third ever video cast on thinkentrpreneurship.com. And we remind you to follow your passion.